Friends, hope you're doing well. I'm Dr.Milind. So, a lot of students are preparing for INICET November session and NEETPG 2023. So, one important question that a lot of students have, that how should be the approach to the MCQ? Because a lot of toppers, when we watch their interviews, they talk about QBank, they talk about custom modules and grand test. So, how should be our approach to MCQ practice to get the maximum benefit from it? So what are the options that we have available are QBank, the custom modules, the subject-wise test, grand test, previously year MCQs, and image-based questions. So there is a lot to do and there are a lot of options available. So what is the wise way of doing it? So first I'll talk about the QBank. So basically QBank is a collection of a lot of MCQs and it's like a mixed bag. So randomly you can start solving the MCQs. So this is one of the good option for MCQ practice, and a lot of students, a lot of toppers recommend solving QBank, and as a like after theory you can start doing it. But one of the problem with QBank is it can be time consuming. Like if you keep solving whole if you want to solve the whole QBank, then it is going to take a lot of time. So what I will advise, first finish your theory. Once you are done with your theory, then start solving the QBank of a particular subject. You should target around 50 to 100 daily questions with explanations. Like don't overdo as well. 50 to 100 questions with explanation is good number. Now, if you want to finish your QBank fast, you need a smart approach. Also, you should use it efficiently. Like if you want to do the QBank, you should be very smart while attempting it. So I have few recommendations and few advices for it. So recently, PrepLadder has launched its QBank 4.0, and which has a good number of questions, and the questions are oriented as per the current exam scenarios. So first advice I would like to give you, that always read explanation and references. So whenever you are solving QBank, if you get a question right or wrong, you have to read the explanation when you are doing it for the first time. The question which you get right, you can just read the explanation once and it is in your notes, so you don't have to read it again. But the questions which you get wrong or get right just by chance, you have to mark it. You can bookmark it, so you can read the explanations later. So this PrepLadder QBank 4.0, they offer you very good explanations of all the questions that will be there in the QBank. So if there is a question about like GLUT receptor, so you should not you should know also what is GLUT4, GLUT1, GLUT3, all the receptors, and not only the GLUT that has been asked in the question. So this is very important aspect. Second, don't miss on easy questions. So this is also a very interesting feature by PrepLadder 4.0 QBank. So you must be wondering, like a lot of students who solve QBank, they must be wondering, it's given at the end of the question that 77% of the students got it right. So what is the importance of this percentage? Sometimes you'll see some questions like 25% of the students get right, some questions 80% of the students get right, some questions 90% of the student gets right. So any question that more than 50% of the students get right, you should not miss on those questions. You should not get those questions wrong. If you are consistently getting such questions wrong, like which has a higher percentage, like the students the questions which more than 50% students get right but you get it wrong, then your rank is going to be bad, because you are going to get away from get behind in the competition. Don't worry about the questions. Don't feel happy if you are getting the questions right which 25% of the students are able to get right, because that question is not going to make much difference in your rank. The questions that are going to make difference in your rank are these questions where maximum people get right. So you have to polish these questions and you have to practice them more. So whenever you get such kind of feature, take maximum benefit of it. What I being a user of PrepLadder myself, what I feels that PrepLadder also offers is the treasures. Like whenever you see a question in the QBank, after in the explanations you see the material in the tabulated form, which is very easy to revise, and these stages are really helpful. Also, you see a lot of questions, like when you attempt a exam or a QBank, you see a lot of clinical scenarios. There is a huge question, so sometimes it feels like it's a time consuming. So in exam, a lot of students face the time management issue. So this is where the active guidance of the PrepLadder app helps. So what is active guidance? That whenever you see a huge question, the important points will be highlighted, that what you want to give attention in the question. There will be a lot of things written, but you don't have to put your attention to every point. So for example, here the keywords are insulin and glucose uptake. So basically this question is about that. Similarly, when you get in a PrepLadder 4.0 QBank, whenever you get a like big question, such points will be highlighted along with the explanation. So your brain is trained that how you are going to answer this question and how you are going to tackle this question in the real exam. Now coming to the next point about the custom modules and subject wise test. Again, they are huge. Like if you want to do the QBank, then you want to do the modules and subject wise test. We have 19 subject, and subjects like medicine, surgery, PSM, obs gynae, their QBank and their MCQ number of MCQs that they have are huge. So I'll advise that you should be very selective for them. You should do subject wise test only for the subjects which are difficult or high yield subject. As I say about the rank building and rank deciding subject. See, for the subject like medicine, surgery, PSM, obs gynae, you cannot do whole module or whole subject wise test. You have to be very selective for these subjects. You can even be random. But for rank deciding subject, which are your small subject, you can do whole module or whole subject wise test because they don't change much with time. So if you do more tests for them, it will be a better way of revision. As I say that doing a custom module and subject wise test, it is one of the best aid for revision. Lot of students that I had interacted with and lot of toppers I have recently interviewed, lot of students have used this approach. They have not done custom modules or subject wise tests for large subject, but definitely they have, whenever they finish a subject from a rank building or rank deciding topic, they will do the subject wise test then only, like after finishing theory. So it will help them to remember and to know what kind of questions are asked. So definitely this should be your approach, and this will be time saving. If you feel, I have released in last video about grand test assessment, that if you get a higher percentage of accuracy, like for example there are three subjects, let's say physiology, pathology, let's say medicine, and let's say derma. So if you see in your grant test that physiology you have 40% of the accuracy, in pathology suppose you have 75% of the accuracy, in medicine if you say like you have 65% of the accuracy, and in derma let's say you have 35% of the accuracy. So what it shows that pathology and medicine you have a very good satisfactory accuracy. So you don't have to do lot of subject wise test for this. You can be very random and very selective about your modules, and you can even do the topics which you are getting frequently wrong. But for physiology you can see your accuracy is very less. For derma your accuracy is very less. For this you can do the whole subject wise test, like all the modules you can do. So that will help you, because reading notes again and again might not improve your accuracy. So you have to know how the questions are asked. So that should be your approach for the custom modules. About grand test, lot of students have this question. I will always say don't be in a hurry to start grand test. Lot of students spoil their ranks, spoil their preparation by because they are so much obsessed with the grand test. Everybody wants to start with the grand test and want to see where you stand. See, after the results you are not happy with your results and you know where you stand. Just giving again and again grand test is not going to improve your rank. So first finish your first reading, after that start your grand test. Initially do 1 to 2 grand test each month. Like for the, if you have started after like in 1st of June, if you have started your reading, so at least wait till August. From August do 1 to 2 grand test in August. Then in September you can increase it to like every if you want, like I will still advise you do every 15th day, that every twice weekly. Still you can, do it like twice a month here. And from October then you can do weekly, once you have this confidence and once you have done the better revisions. So increase the frequency of grand test only after revisions. Also assess weakness and not rank and score. See, you know your rank, you know your score. The best rank and the best score that you are going to get is in your real exam. So don't worry about rank and score. See what are the weak areas. I have in my previous video about preparation, how to go for the preparation, I have given how to analyze your GT and how to see the percentage. So see how you can assess your weakness with those points. Then previously year questions. See, the previously year questions are again the most important. Whenever you are bored, like some of you may be bored of starting again, like how to read, how should I go. So you start with your previous year questions. For NEET, last 8 to 10 years question, and for INI, last 3 to 5 years questions are must. Now a lot of students have this query that, sir, there are a lot of extensive explanations given in books, like there are a lot of MCQ books which has these extensive explanations. So should, yes, it is necessary. A lot of students ask me, sir, is it necessary? Because they are trying to cover the portion. They are trying to see that if the question is twisted or asked in another manner, you don't have to read it again and again. Once you read the explanation, you highlighted the important points, you will know it. For those students who want an easier approach, we have a PrepLadder 4.0 question bank which has a PYQ filter. So you can use it and they have a very crispy and concise explanation. So if you are looking for that, and if you want to use the app, then this preparator QBank can be a alternative option. Now coming to the image based questions, a lot of students also have a doubt about what to do for, go with the image based questions. First, strong theory makes you know it's easy to tackle the image based question. So if your theory is strong, image based question is not really a problem. One way of doing it is a Google search. Simply you put on a, like, you open Google, you have a search bar. So you write, for example, you write about like school of fish appearance you want to see. So when you get the image, when you get the search result, you will get multiple images on the first page. So you just take a screenshot of that, and you will have that, okay, I have this option. So this is one way of knowing it, that even if the image is asked in a different way, you have the answer. Another easy way is, again, a Prepladder has in their QBank, they have a image based questions filter as well. That is one of the feature that they have. So if you want to go for easy and time saving approach, I think this Prepladder QBank is also a very good alternative option, and you can definitely go for that. Now, as I have told you, the students who want to try this Prepladder 4.0, you can download the app from the description, and the entire content of the app is free for 24 hours. So you can download the app and you can check all of these. And what we have noticed in the recent exam, that all these exams that recently happened, Prepladder QBank had a quite higher strike rate. So you can definitely get benefited from that. So lastly, few insight: don't read what you can revise. So whenever you approach to MCQ, like, it similarly, it stands for theory. If you're not able to revise that MCQ or bookmark that MCQ that you did wrong, there is no point on doing it. So only read and do those modules which you will be able to revise. Practice is going to make you perfect. More you practice, more your critical thinking will improve, more your brain be able to tackle the difficult questions in the exam. Use your resources carefully, don't overdo it. If you pay for something, if you buy a book, or if you using an app, it does not mean that you have to see each and everything of it. You have to plan as per your weaknesses. So in a nutshell, whenever you have a subject, you divide it into two parts: your weak subject and your strong subject. And strong subject, by mean which you have a higher accuracy of, like, consistently you are getting higher correct answers. So for the strong subject, just be dependent on the PYQs and image based questions you can get, which you can get in a Prepladder filter. You can apply a Prepladder filter in their QBank, or you can solely be relying on a previously asked questions and image based questions for the subjects which you are strong in. For the weak subject, go for the extensive custom modules, subject wise test, or QBank. So you can use these options for weak subject. So this is should be your approach, that you don't have to do the subject wise test like for strong subject, because it is going to take a lot of time. So this way you can save a lot of time of yours. So guys, I wish you all the best. If you have any doubt regarding QBank, let me know in the comment box, and all the best.